Okay. There's always an almost automated response when, we talk about slow living, especially when it is coming from someone that looks like me. And I get it because I have also responded in the same way before now, because then I didn't, understand what really slow living meant. And I thought it was exclusive to a certain, group of people, which is one of the main misconceptions about slow living. I believe that there are a lot of misconceptions about slow living, which of course is the main reason why I will continue to share these slow living videos. And like I mentioned in one of my videos, when I started to delve into what slow living entails, I realized that it wasn't any different from the simple life that I have chosen to live. The main reason why I share, and I will continue to share, videos about simple and slow living is because I wish I had, people who shared this information that I was seeking. By that I mean also people who looked like me. And I say this because when I talk about slow living with friends, close people and maybe even loved ones, the first misconception I hear is that you have started to behave like them. By them, it means a certain group of people. For me, that's not true, because it just means that nurturing your life and being mindful of, little moments and choosing to slow down and allow things to flow instead of force things, is only exclusive to a group of people, which is of course the main purpose of sharing this video. So you don't have to look a certain way to practice slow living. And I say this now because it was a big struggle for me to start to share these videos when I started, to understand what living a slow life meant. I would struggle then because I felt like I wasn't qualified to talk about this because I didn't look a certain way. Of course, when I took the brave step to start to, use this platform to share slow living videos, I was also looking for people who looked like me. And there was something off because I could count with my 10 fingers, people who looked like me who were sharing slow living videos. And of course, we have the amazing other content creators whom I really appreciate. Hi, Lily of Norway, Jane Slow Living, Lilac. If I don't mention your name, it's just because it doesn't come to mind, at the moment, whose videos have really, really, helped me understand what, living a slow life means. And, just with daily practices and showing that it is not supposed to be perfect, it's just, like I said, choosing to go with the flow of life, choosing to pause and breathe and feel things, and see life for what it is. Enjoy the little moments and the miracles happening in the moment. For example, I would trace this back to even where I am from. My grandparents, they would sit around the fire, to enjoy the process of cooking rather than seeing it as a chore. They would enjoy the process of, braiding the hair, making the hair, and just, that gathering, that moment, that they are so mindful of the moment. It doesn't matter what it looks like. It doesn't matter how it turns out. It is just the process. They enjoy the process of it. So I would really consider that, practicing slow living. That is really what it entails. So you don't have to look a certain way to practice slow living. Another misconception is that you have to be a certain way. For example, you have to be a minimalist to practice slow living. I wouldn't identify as a minimalist. As a matter of fact, I am not. And even though I try to play my own little role, I do my best in making sure that we leave Mother Earth better than we met it. But I wouldn't say that I have a zero waste lifestyle. I wouldn't I wouldn't just call myself a minimalist. And I don't think that that disqualifies me from talking about slow living or even living a slow lifestyle. Like I said, what slow living means for me, is just to be mindful of, life's little moments and how it is. So I don't think that I have to have another tag as to being called a minimalist to be able to say confidently that I practice a slow life. Again, which is the main reason why I'm sharing this, so that you know that it is not preserved for people who are a certain way. I don't believe that you have to have that title or that tag to be able to say, I want to be mindful about life. Another misconception I hear is that slow living lifestyle requires a certain aesthetic to it. I'm not even sure I'm pronouncing that word right. That's to show you that it is not required. And I kind of get it because of the repetition of the kind of images that are being fed to us, or the kind of videos that we watch. There are almost certain things that you expect to see in this kind of videos, or the images that are being portrayed as to what really slow living means. For example, you have to have lots of plants, a teapot, and all of that. I just feel that is personal to the individual who is practicing slow living. I also believe that slow living looks different for everyone. You can live in the city and practice slow living. You don't have to live in the countryside to practice slow living. You also don't. It also doesn't require certain aesthetics for you to. I just feel like that's so awful. That is so absurd to even think about, because the fact that you have to have certain aesthetics, or that a certain lifestyle requires certain aesthetics, takes away its essence. Because in essence, what it means to practice a slow life is to see life for its imperfections, to be in the moment. And being in the moment is also mean that you are appreciative of the moment. So you can't force, you just allow, if that makes sense. In simple terms, it's just to allow. Not just allow things to be, but you're also allowing yourself to be instead of forcing yourself to do. Even when you are doing, it is natural, it just flows naturally. And that's just, I feel like that's the beauty of life, the imperfections, the flaws, the cracks, I don't know, the not so aesthetic part of life. So to link aesthetics to this lifestyle is to really not understand it. And I hope that this video helps whoever is just, being curious to know what slow living really entails, or have also heard these misconceptions and I've believed them like I used to believe, and just felt like, this is really not for me. I hope that you forget the tag, the titles, and whatever misconceptions that are surrounding it, and just see it for what it is, and understand that it would definitely look different for you, and you can start anywhere. Again, I'm so grateful that I have this platform where I can, share my imperfect life and talk about the things that I have learned, or I'm still learning, the things that I practice, like, living a slow and simple life. And it's funny how I now feel so comfortable to share, because I realize that you don't have to attain a certain goal to practice this lifestyle. You don't need a certain requirement, and it is not a destination. It is just in the journey. So yes, there are times when my life is really chaotic, probably even now. The fact that I can remind myself, to return and slow down and to choose to be mindful, it is something that I will always, be appreciative of, which is why it is for everyone, especially now that the world is in chaos, which I'm not really going to talk about. I hope that you remind yourself to slow down, to breathe. I hope that you take time to just, come back to yourself and allow Allow. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next one. Bye. Yeah, it does. That was correct, Angel. And it's funny. Breathe, Angel. Breathe. Bye. Go away, baby. I think he's still there. I'm gonna start again. In a slow. Zazu. Misconceptions are around it, surrounding it. Okay. I hope that you forget. I need to give that example. I think that the video is long. But that's not true. So I hope that you enjoyed. No, don't say that. Don't say that.